friends, and welcome to Houston, Florida Atlantic, San Diego State. Let's get this Final Four underway. They have the one timeout. Are they going to take it or not? They don't have the scorers on the floor. It's Butler with 2 seconds. He's got to put it up. And he wins it with the jumper. A San Diego State miracle.
Just let it soak in. We got one more game to win. We're going to hang a banner on Monday night.
Next, it's Miami and UConn. And tonight in Houston, Texas, just no match for the Husky Express, heading to a Monday night championship appearance.
We knew we were going to be playing on Monday.
This is Capital One Championship Central.
We arrived here in NRG Stadium in Houston with 4 teams still alive and are now down to the final 2. The Aztecs of San Diego State seeking their first national title after Lamont Butler's buzzer beater for the ages. This team has won each of its last 2 games by a single point. A dominant tournament run has landed UConn in familiar territory. For the 5th time, the Huskies are one of the last 2 standing. The previous 4 times they've gone on to cut down the nets. Later tonight, one of these schools will have their shining moment while cradling the national championship trophy. And with that, we welcome you to Capital One Championship Central. I'm Greg Gumbel, joined by Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Jay Wright. Kenny, March, no matter how you get here, it earns its name. It earns the reputation.
And it's madness. You know, I think the one thing that you said, you earn every right to be here. There is no luck of the draw. You have to go through the best to be the best. At some point in this tournament, you are always going to have to play a team that is considered better than you or just as good as you. And then you have to propel and get there. And Monday night, we are here.
No ones, no twos. Doesn't matter.
It does not matter at all. We know how special semifinal Saturday is. But the anticipation of the champion being coronated here has a special buzz in and of itself.
Jay.
It's so true. No matter how many times you're here as a player or a coach, you can feel the electricity.
A lot of people can't say that. He just said that so casually. Oh, no matter how many times you get here. Okay, Jay, don't flex on us up there. Okay, go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, I'm here when you guys said I'm just as excited tonight as I ever was when we were playing. You walk out here in this atmosphere, it is electric, and the champion is going to be crowned, and this is what college basketball lives for, the end of this season.
And Chuck, you always talk about this being one of your favorite times of the year.
You know, when you play in the NBA, you never get a chance to go to the Final Four, but you watch the games, and I've been so lucky, thanks to CBS, for giving me this opportunity. This is my favorite time of the year. Thank you for another great year, and man, I can't wait for the night.
It's not over yet. It has been a heck of a ride. Let's begin with the Aztecs. Here is our Tracy Wolfson, who spoke with head coach Brian Dutcher moments ago.
Coach, just an exciting ending to the semifinal game on Saturday night. But how did you handle it with your team? All those emotions, but being able to quickly flip the switch to focus on this one.
You know, I always tell them since they got here, embrace every moment. And then when it's time to lock in, lock in. And so we've had really good prep time over the last day and a half getting ready for tonight's game.
Speaking of that prep, you're facing a UConn team that has been really dominant throughout this tournament on both sides of the ball. What concerns you most about them tonight?
They're so dangerous offensively from so many positions. Inside out, transition threes. And when things don't go right for them, there's elite rebounders. And so we have our hands full tonight, but we're up for the task.
Adama Sanogo, who has had an incredible tournament. How do you handle him this evening?
I've got great depth at that position. And so I can survive some early fouls if I get them because I've got tremendous players coming off the bench.
Finally, to bring a championship to San Diego State, what would that mean to you? You've been part of this program for a long time, to the state, to the city, to everything to be able to do that.
And we're so proud to be representing San Diego State and America's finest city, San Diego, California, that they'll be ready tonight if we win. There'll be a heck of a celebration.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, Tracy.
Tracy Wilson, thank you. Jay Wright, what do you want us to know right now about the Aztecs?
Brian Dutcher is convincing his team we're good enough to win this game, but this can't be a ballet. It can't be pretty up and down. When we get stops, we got to slow it up, and we got to grind it with this UConn team. Not because we're not good enough, just because we got to make it uncomfortable. We want to make long possessions, make them grind defensively. Don't let them have a lot of touches of the ball offensively, because we are comfortable in these ugly grind-out games. Not that they can't do it, but this is going to make them uncomfortable. We're going to have to go to the end of the possession like that. We do not want possessions that look like this. We don't want them out in transition. They are one of the best opportunistic running teams in the country, because they might not get the layup, but they'll smack you in the face with a quick three. So it can't look like that up and down. It's got to be slow, ugly, methodical.
Chuck, the San Diego State team, possibility of a surprise?
They've only had one bad half that they haven't played, quote-unquote, San Diego State basketball. That was the first half of last game. Every other game has been a slugfest, played at their pace. They have, Clark says this, they played their way better than anybody else. And to piggyback on Jay's point, if this game's in the 60s, they're going to have a really good chance, because even though UConn got better all-around players, they have played their style. Even though they played a bad half the last game, they locked it in the second half. But today, they're playing such a superior team, they're going to have a good offensive game. They can't just stop UConn, or they got too many weapons. They're going to have to have one of their better offensive games to beat UConn.
This thing about them playing their type of game, Clark, is it good enough?
I don't know, but to Chuck's point, I don't think they can win a game in the 60s. They're going to have to score more than that to have a chance against UConn, because UConn, as much as we talk about how efficient and dominant they've been offensively, the defense has been excellent as well. Teams are only shooting 35% against the Huskies in the tournament, 29% from three. UConn has a huge advantage in made threes. So I think the Aztecs are going to have to play a grinded game, but they've got to selectively run and get easy scores and put the ball in the basket, I think, to the tune of 75 points or more to have a chance for the upset.
And Kenny, by the time you get this far, you can't change your colors. You are who you are.
You are who you are, 100%. And there's a lot of pressure on Matt Bradley, Lamont Butler, and Nathan Mensah in this regard. When you're a good defensive player, sometimes that's the offensive shot he wants to take. You're forcing him into a shot that he's comfortable in that most people aren't. When you look at the offensive of Jordan Hawkins, you look at the interior play of Sanogo, those guys can finish around the rim. Those are the shots, those tough shots, they're tough shot makers. Then UConn has guys coming off the bench that are not afraid to let it go. So all of a sudden you say, oh, this deep three? No, that's the shot UConn's looking for. So now you have to change your defensive philosophy, because sometimes you can be penalized for playing the defense that you've been playing to get to tonight.
All right, guys. Welcome back, everybody, for more on UConn now. Here's Tracy Wolfson, who also spoke with Huskies head coach Dan Hurley earlier.
Coach, you're a defensive guy. You're facing, though, one of the best defensive teams you probably faced all season. What have you seen from the San Diego State team, and how can you attack them tonight?
Yeah, tremendous physicality. Something that has caused us trouble at different times during the year is teams that have, switched some things. I think we found some, some solutions to the switching defense late in the year here, but they make it really, really hard on you because of their physicality, and we've got to, we got to play really strong with the ball. We can't afford any live ball turnovers, but by the same token, we're an elite defensive team too.
Offensively, who do you need specifically to step up tonight?
Yeah, I think we're going to have just a great mix, and we're going to really have to be sharp with our execution. We come at you from a variety of ways. We're just going to have that mix of getting inside to Adama and getting into Donovan in the ball screen game and finding our shooters versus our various actions, and and just kind of keep that ball moving.
If you can cut down the nets tonight, what would that mean to you and to this program?
It would obviously mean a lot, but I've just really tried not to get my mind there and just really just try to focus on each of these like 4-minute wars that we're going to play from media timeout to media timeout here. Got tremendous respect for San Diego State, you know, and for us it's just like stick to our identity, don't get ahead of ourselves, and put ourselves in position.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Coach Hurley is being kind because I don't know how a coach comes into this game and doesn't have that somewhere on his mind.
Well, a coach honestly is looking at every possible way that San Diego State could beat them. And they can beat them. If they can fight and scrap and dig and claw and then just steal it at the end like they did against Florida Atlantic, they can do it. But we have to say, UConn is playing like a national championship team. They're highly efficient offensively, defensively, and they've got great depth. I think UConn's a team that can win it.
San Diego State can win it if they don't allow UConn to get in transition, if they're really physical and disruptive on defense. Matt Bradley has to have a big game, and they need 3 other guys to get to double digits. That's an awful lot to ask. I don't think they'll be able to do all of that. I like UConn because of the explosive offensive versatility and the stingy saran wrap defense that the Huskies can play too.
Everybody, Kenny, keeps talking about this whole defensive approach of San Diego State. Can it be enough to win the game?
So you turn to your left and you see my guy right here.
I've seen it.
We already know who he's picking. He's got a 10-gallon hat with a 20-gallon head. So I'm just going to get to him, and I'm going to say the UConn Huskies offense beats defense tonight. So Chuck, take us home, cowboy.
Well, we got skill versus will. San Diego State has played true to their abilities in every single game except the first half against FAU. I think Will is going to win. I'm going with the upset tonight. The Aztec Nation! Yes!
Now, listen. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that last week in New York, you were convinced UConn was winning this championship.
I actually do think UConn is the better team, but there's something special about these Aztecs. They have been fantastic. So has UConn. This is a one-game playoff. I think they can enforce that will.
So now we're getting to that point about, is it the best team or the team that plays best?
Well, I don't know if it's the team play best team. I just think that this is Yosemite Sam at his best. All you need is your holster, and let's start shooting up the place, Chuck. This is it. I love the old gunslingers in here tonight.
I'm just going to go out on a limb. Has he done this before?
He's done something like it, but never like this.
Shout out to Lee Corso, too.
Let's go to Twitter for just a moment and see what's on the line. Coach Jay Wright, which championship ring you got on?
It's our Final Four ring from last year. And Josh Hart got a real one. He's got a real championship ring.
Let me ask you the same question I just asked Kenny. Is it the best team or the team that plays best?
Oh, definitely. Charles said it. It's a one-game, pressure-packed game. The game pressure will be on Connecticut at the end. If it's tight, Connecticut knows they're the better team. San Diego State knows they got a chance to steal this. So if it's tight at the end, the pressure's on Connecticut.
So, yeah, I think I agree. If it's as tight as that head is on Chuck's head, and San Diego has a real chance, because that's not an area that UConn has experienced in this tournament.
Okay.
That could be problematic.
Who you got?
I've got UConn.
Who you got?
I've got UConn.
Kenny?
UConn.
Is this a silly question, Chuck?
Nope. Aztecs.
That's it for Capital One Championship Central. The Aztecs of San Diego State, the Huskies of UConn, playing for a national championship. Jim Nance, Bill Raftery, Grant Hill, Tracy Wolfson coming your way next.